Hello PWL fans and welcome back to the Draft Retrospective series. Today we're going to be looking at the 6 players selected in the second round of the draft. If you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend watching the first round retrospective, as there are terms in this video you won't get unless you've seen that one. Without further ado, let's get into it. Round 2, Pick 7, Jonah Reyes-Beagley. The first pick of the second round was Jonah Reyes-Beagley to the Bethany Eagles. An all-rounder balanced archetype, Jonah's best performance was his only one, Week 1, Game 4, where he scored 7 points on 1 elimination. As stated before, Reyes-Beagley only played his first game and had to be subbed out by a free agent for the next 3 games before he was cut from the team in Week 4. Reyes-Beagley is ranked dead last in every category in the league and is certainly the biggest bust of the entire draft. The only good thing to come out of his career was that the Eagles signed free agent Owen Anderson after cutting him, which obviously makes Jonah Reyes-Beagley a reach. Round 2, Pick 8, Tanner Jenkins. With the second pick of the second round, the Hillsborough Highlanders selected Tanner Jenkins. The younger of the Jenkins brothers was a power archetype, his playstyle being full throttle, and he is widely regarded as perhaps the single greatest at this playstyle. Tanner's best performance was in Week 4, Game 1, where he became the 4th and last player in the league to score 27 or more points, scoring 27 points on 14 eliminations and a whopping 7 regicides. He would later become the 2nd and last player to score 27 or more points twice, when he scored 27 points again in Week 6, Game 2, with 12 eliminations and 3 regicides. It speaks a lot when Tanner's worst performance was when he scored 16 points, and still on 4 eliminations. In terms of statistics, Jenkins was a monster. He scored the 2nd most points in the league, and tied for the 2nd most adjusted points scored. He had the 3rd most eliminations and regicides, the 3rd most points per game, eliminations per game, and adjusted points per game, and 4th in regicides per game. Couple that with 3rd in point percentage, and 4th in elimination percentage and regicide percentage, and the tank was top 4 in every recorded stat in the league. The accolades don't stop there, as Tanner Jenkins was voted Hillsborough Highlanders Team Most Valuable Player, won the Offensive Player of the Year award, and was selected to Pro Bowl honors. Jenkins was a 5-time top 10 ranked player, 2-time top 5 ranked player, and 1-time top 3 ranked player. He finished 3rd once, 2nd once, and 1st 3 times in his 3 match victories, and finally was Player of the Week twice. Obviously, as he was taken in the 2nd round, Tanner Jenkins was the draft's first steal. Round 2, Pick 9, Max Carlton. With their second pick of the draft, the Wreckers selected Max Carlton, a power archetype player with the spiker subclass, known for his unorthodox striking technique, which hit the ball with a force unreasonable for a strike so shallow. Carlton's best game of the season came in Week 5's opener, when he scored 21 points on 7 eliminations and 4 regicides. But he was no slouch when it came to consistency either, scoring 15 points twice and 19 in another. Carlton was always a contender for the top 10, but never quite made it in, finishing in 14th after a disappointing concluding game where he scored just 10 points. While he may have finished 14th in points, he was actually top 10 in a few other stats. He was ranked 9th in total regicides, tied for 10th in regicides per game, and also 10th in regicide percentage. Obviously, Carlton was a regicide machine. Averaging just under 15 points per game, Carlton was a reliable player to complement a team star, as he finished 3rd once and 2nd 3 times across his 6 matches, earning Carlton the designation of Good Pick. Round 2, Pick 10, Travis Severson. With the 10th overall pick, the league champion Shockwaves selected Travis Severson, a corner threat technique player who mostly flew under everyone's radar throughout the season. A middle-of-the-pack player for 5 weeks until his breakout game in Week 6, where Travis Severson scored his season-high 25 points on 6 eliminations and 1 regicide, practically sealing the trophy for Cedar Mill. After that performance, fans started realizing just how good he had been before, especially when he outscored league giants Tanner Jenkins and Kane Edmonds in Week 5 Game 3, often referred to as the game of the season, and 2 more 15-point performances in Weeks 1 and 4. Slauberson was able to sneak into the top 10 in total points scored with the lowest triple-digit number in the league at 101, and also had the 10th most adjusted points scored. He averaged just under 17 points per game, and while he didn't win anything at the award show, some say he was snubbed for Comeback Player of the Year. Travis Severson finished the season as a top 10 player with 3 third-place finishes, 1 second-place finish, and 1 match victory as well. And while he never racked up as many great stat lines, it's enough to earn him the title of Good Pick. Round 2, Pick 11, Kian Dyer. With the 5th pick of the second round, the Beaverton Ballers took Kian Dyer, the younger of the Dyer Bros, a technique survivalist player who many seem to forget was a top 10 ranked player quite often, finishing the season as a 4-time top 10 player. Dyer scored 19 in his first game and only 6 in his second, before bouncing all the way back up to 19 points scored again in Week 3. After 16 points in Week 4, Dyer had his best performance of the season in Week 5, Game 4, where he scored 22 points, albeit on just 2 eliminations. He was poised to finish top 10 before disaster struck, and he scored just 8 points in his last game to fall to 12th ranked. With 1 third-place finish and 3 second-place finishes, Kian averaged 15 points per game and was a solid 2 to support Ryan Heilman. As a top 10 level scorer, Kian Dyer earns the spot of Good Pick. Round 2, Pick 12, Ben Ryan. With their second pick, the Aloha Gladiators selected Ben Ryan, a balanced adapter player who had a bad start to the league with 7 points and 12 points, corrected by his best performance in Week 3, Game 1, where he scored 17 points on 3 eliminations and 1 regicide. Jabba the Hutt scored 15 and 16 points in Week 4 and 6, but got absolutely mobbed on in the most stacked game of the season in Week 5, where he had the short end of the stick and scored just 3 points, the second lowest of any performance of the season. Ryan finished 23rd in the league in scoring, averaging just under 12 points per game, and while Dr. Pepper named him the Dr. Pepper Player of the Year for his signature go-get-'em attitude, Ben Ryan, unfortunately, was a reach. That's all 6 of the players taken in the second round. We've added 1 steal, 2 reaches, and 3 good picks to the board, totaling our first 2 drafts rounds at 1 steal, 4 good picks, and 7 reaches. So far, the Shockwave, unsurprisingly, have had the best-rated draft class with 2 good picks. The Highlanders behind them with a reach, but so far the only steal of the draft. The Wreckers and Ballers both have a good pick in the second, with a reach in the first, and the Eagles and Gladiators so far have been the worst at drafting, with 2 reaches between them. That'll do it for today, and we hope to see you back for our Round 3 retrospective.